Now we're going to be covering lesson 15.1 or 15-1, writing equations from graphs and tables. This lesson will be split into three separate sections. Questions 1, questions 2 and 3, and then question 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at question 1's introduction. Travis Smith and his brother Roy are co-owners of a trucking company. One of their regular weekly jobs is to transport fruit grown in Pecos to Dallas distributing plant. Travis knows that his customers are concerned about the speed with which the brothers can deliver the produce because fruit will spoil after a certain length of time. Question number 1. Travis wants to address his customers' concerns with facts and figures. He knows that a typical trip between Pecos and Dallas takes 7.5 hours. He makes the following graph. A. What information does the graph provide us? What can we tell just by looking at this picture? Well, I can see a couple of things. I can see that at 0 hours since leaving Pecos, we are 450 miles from Dallas. So I can state the distance from Pecos to Dallas is 450 miles. I can see that the time when they arrive in Dallas is 7.5 hours after leaving. And the last thing I can tell is I know if I travel 450 miles and it takes me 7.5 hours to get there, I should be able to determine the speed. So we can do 450 miles of drive time divided by 7.5 hours will give me the speed that they travel. 450 divided by 7.5. They are traveling at a speed of 60 miles per hour is their speed on average, basically. All right. B. Locate the point with coordinates 3, comma 270 on the graph. Label it point A and describe the information these coordinates provide. So 3, comma 270 says label that A. What does that 3 tell me? After 3 hours since leaving Pecos, okay, what does that 270 tell me? The distance from Dallas is 270 miles. So basically, this tells me I've been on the road for 3 hours and we're still 270 miles from our final destination. Let's take a look at C on the next page. According to the graph, how many hours will it take Travis to reach Dallas from Pecos, and explain how you determined your answer? Well, I think it would be 7.5. When Travis arrives in Dallas, the distance to Dallas are your y coordinate is 0. This happens when the x coordinate which is time since leaving, is 7.5 hours. Okay? It's basically this point right here, which is 7.5, comma 0. We have 0 miles to get to Dallas, and we've been on the road for 7.5. Interstate 20 is the direct route from Pecos to Dallas. Based upon his graph, at what average speed does Travis expect to travel, and explain how we determine this answer? Well, I actually found this in part A. See part A. You travel 450 miles in 7.5 hours, which is 60 miles per hour. All right. On to the next section. Before you get there, please make sure you get all of question 1 written down and answer the debriefing question on the slide that follows.